top that, but we'll try. Mine's kind of similar to Scarlett's, but unlike her, I actually joined my junior year instead of my freshman year. So I'm going to kind of talk about my evolution through Edge, and I think my experience in Edge has been a little bit more unique because I've had kind of the perspective of what it was like in Gen Pop compared to in Edge. I'm going to talk about like the mindset shift that I had with that, and then kind of like the application of that mindset shift through our projects, and then how it's like led me off to my future. So yeah, the mindset shift. So as I said, I joined as a freshman, and I have always wanted to be a straight A student. I've always wanted to end high school as valedictorian, 4.0, get the perfect grade on every test, and freshman year that looked a lot like studying for the exam, retaining all the material, spitting it back out on the test, get an A, and then I thought it was going to lead to all of this success. So what really changed my mind and what made me want to come to Edge? Well, if I'm being completely honest, so my best friend is in the program, if you didn't know, she just presented, and I thought that spending every day with Scarlett Langhorse sounded like such a great way to spend my time. We had lunch together, freshman and sophomore year, I believe, and she would just talk about the projects and the teachers, and I'd be like, who are these mythical people? What is going on? Why do you not have grades? Like, and yeah, the more interested in it I became, the more we started to talk about it, and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll come for a shadow day and see how I feel about it. And then I came for a shadow day, and I remember sitting in this room. Baldwin had a sociology class, and it was just unlike any class I've ever had before. If you've had a class with Baldwin, you know. And it was really, really cool because I was in a room with people that wanted to learn. And I think that that's really what we find in Edge, is that we're just surrounded by people who love learning, and that just changes the whole game. And not just people who want to learn, but teachers that want to teach, and teachers that really like strive to make it fun for you and make you want to learn. So how did this end up changing my mindset? So the path to success, as you can see, is no longer linear in my mind. I now want to be an effective collaborator, like to change my perspective about something, discover something new, always be curious, and motivate myself to do it. And I just kind of see it as this like never-ending cycle that continues to build on itself. And in Edge, I've really found that that's how we approach learning, and that's how we treat our projects. It's not like the end goal is this grade, but the end goal is to continue building the skill. So now moving on to the application, I'm going to talk about my favorite project in Edge, which is also Sustainable Cities. This was my pride and joy, my baby that I worked on for like 2 months. I was the waste and water manager, and I decided to build a waste to energy landfill system. Shout out to my group also, we had such a fun time, and it was a great group to work with, but this project really solidified what career path I was going to go into, which is crazy to think about because before I was in Edge, I didn't even know that I wanted to go into engineering. So I did that project my junior year, and then my senior year, the first semester, I decided to go for an engineering internship, which my project actually helped me land the internship because I cited it in my interview when I gave them paper, and they were really impressed by that I had done all of that and that I was so interested in it, and I think that that's why they took me on. So this was my internship. I had this little corner desk, which was actually really nice, a little headset, and I also decided to take physics my senior year because I thought that might be good for engineering maybe. And we did a project with bridges, which this was a really cool crossover. So I was working on the water team at my engineering internship, but they had a bridge team in the office. So when we got this project, I like walked over to the bridge team and I was like, hey guys, this is my project. Could you print me off like a bridge plan? And they were like, yeah, of course. So they printed me off like a Warren Truss bridge plan, and I took it into physics, and I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna make. And so this is the bridge we ended up making, and I think we got second place with like 75 pounds, just made out of little chopsticks? Not chopsticks. Popsicle sticks, thank you. So, so yeah, I think that that's also like follows back into like the circle of just like you find something you like doing and then you continue to pursue it in Edge. And yeah, I've had a really fun time doing that. And it's kind of led me to my future career path, which is going to be engineering. But I also want to talk about how like the college process went. So this was a huge part of my first semester senior year, Morgan knows. It was grueling, it was horrendous, honestly. If you're a junior, I did not envy you. But I applied to 9 colleges. I believe 4 of them were safeties and 5 were reach. And this was kind of how I organized everything. So I had like all the colleges I was applying to, the different scholarships, and it was so nice to be in Edge during this time because I was able to like decide when I was going to work on what. And a really, really nice part of it is that I would go up to Cummings and Baldwin and be like, I don't know what to write, will you guys look at this? And they helped immensely, and I'm so grateful that every time I went up, they took the time with me. They were so happy to help and would just become really invested in my success, and so I'm really appreciative to them for that. So this actually ended up working pretty well. If you're a junior or really anything, if you haven't applied to college yet, use Edge. It's great. Like, it's so unique. Colleges love to see it, and if you can like talk about how it's changed you as a person, really great talking point. So I'm actually going to Vanderbilt University. This was my top school. I'm very excited. I'm going to be studying environmental engineering and hopefully visiting Scarlet in Spain at some point because I'm minoring in Spanish, so maybe I'll spend a study abroad semester there. But yeah, that's really all I have. Thank you, Edge.